For more, let's get an update from our correspondent Naba Mohiedeen in Khartoum. Naba, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Perhaps you could give us an update. What is currently transpiring on your end as the violence ceased? What are the needs of civilians as we speak?
Good afternoon. The situation right now is still uncertain. There is a speech about a ceasefire, but so obvious it's not on the ground. It's just on communiques and releases by the RSF and the military. Right now, while I'm talking to you, I can see smoke very close to the airport, burnings, bombings, and explosions. So the ceasefire is alleged, and the situation is still fragile, and people are still suffering from lack of food, water, and power outages and water shortages. While I'm talking to you right now, even the wounded people cannot go to hospitals. The Ministry of Health just announced an emergency release and said there is 36 hospitals right now cannot operate and out of service. So the situation is really bad and fragile, security-wisely, on the ground, health situation and economic situation for millions of people who live in Sudan, not only in the capital, because the conflict is not capital-centered, but also extending to other states like northern state, regional part, and of course Darfur region.
Naba, perhaps you could talk to us about the evacuation processes that are also currently underway.
Excuse me, which evacuation specifically you are talking about?
Perhaps, countries have identified they have, personnel that are affected, organizations, international community.
Actually, we just heard news about evacuation by Japanese government. They are trying to evacuate more than 100 people here, Japanese community in Khartoum and other international staff, but it's not clear yet whether it will take place or not because the airspace is still blocked, the airport is still damaged, unless the military and RSF make a real ceasefire by the pressure of international community and provide an alternative airport, because unfortunately in Sudan there is only one running airport, which is Khartoum airport. Right now it's a military barrack and it's a field of battle and battling between the two armies. So yes, there is evacuation plans, and we are expecting a lot of countries will evacuate their citizens, but it will not happen soon unless a real ceasefire take place and the airspace is opened again for people to be evacuated.
Now, but we've heard reports about looting occurring in some areas, and I wonder, if you could paint a picture as to really what is transpiring on that end, given the needs of civilians, the potential humanitarian crisis that is unfolding there.
Actually, yes, it's not only news. I personally experienced it. Where I live right now, there is some lootings by armed groups. We don't know which part of it, like which armed troops they are, whether they are just criminals and they have guns to just use this chaotic situation and this security loss. So we are witnessing robberies every hour in the street, and there is looting also in the road that people are taking to travel outside Khartoum. People right now, they cannot identify which troops they are looting them because they are not wearing a certain uniform, but they have weapons and they are frightening people because, as I told you, the situation is really bad. People, they don't have cash. Even people who has bank accounts, all of the banks are closed. People have no money, no water, no electricity. It's not justification for crime, but it's expected that it will rise more and more, and everywhere. There is no place in the capital or in states this thing cannot be happening in it. So yes, it's happening, and it's really frightening, more than the gunfire and the battling around the military headquarters.
Thank you for that update. We'll continue to monitor on our end what is happening there. obviously urgently awaiting a stop to that violence. But Naba Mohiedeen is in Khartoum giving us the latest in relation to the Sudan conflict that has now entered just over the past few days.